Hey guys, my name is Jacob Reed and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on Fargo, Season 4, Episodes 5 through 7. Now, I was going to have this sound out yesterday. I'm a bit late about that, sorry. But, as you could see, Allison McGraw is not in my video because they had plans. So I've had to kind of reorganize my notes into doing a solo video. So let's get started with Episode 5. It opens with the police being hired by the Italian mob and they raid this black jazz club. And something I noticed about that scene is that Moanin' by Charles Blakey plays in the background, and it also plays in season 3, I believe. So it's the same song coming back. So I like Lloyd Cannon as a smart gangster rather than a tough guy gangster. Lloyd tries to act tougher than he actually is, similar to Josto, but he's clever, so that kind of makes up for his lack of intimidation, I guess. But, Chris Rock really plays the crazy eyes well when he tries to man up, and that's just kind of funny. Chris Rock himself, as an actor, slowly growing into his role as Lloyd Cannon. I find myself liking him more and more. I like Chris Rock's monologue when he was screaming at his wife, and then kind of how he ended it with, could I get a mm-hmm? That was kind of funny. I like how passionate Lloyd Cannon gets over whipping someone. Like, I haven't seen anybody that passionate over whipping someone since Boardwalk Empire Season 3. And, that was a big precedent. So, moving on to Ethel, why doesn't she go straight to the police? Or at least tell her dad, or even the FBI about all the poisons and the evidence he found in Orietta's secret closet? Like, I think those three would be the first people she goes to, but instead, she writes a letter to Orietta's boss. I mean, I don't know, I guess he's a kid and kid makes stupid decisions sometimes, but still, like, why keep that a secret from your dad, or your mom, or anybody? Um, Also, if Ethel's dad didn't want her visiting her aunt, then he shouldn't have told her where she is. That's just kind of like, he could have lied about it and said he didn't know. But no, he told her the exact address and place where she was. I don't know. And why is Ethelreda asking advice from a criminal aunt anyway? Why would she go to her? Ethelreda's not as smart as I thought she was in these first few episodes. I like the scene where Orietta's banging her head against the wall during the Fargo logo, because this elderly man is moaning too loudly from pain. But at the end of that episode, she kills this old guy, the old moaning man, so yes, he's a really nice person. He was just annoying her, so she killed him. So something I noticed was that the rabbi's last name is Milligan, which makes me think that he's somehow related to Mike Milligan from season 2, because they both share the last name. I don't know. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but like, this is Fargo. There's not that many coincidences. Things usually tie together to the other seasons. Um, I have a theory that Timothy Lumpkin's partner developed his OCD tendencies because of his PTSD from World War II. That's just a little theory I have, but at the same time, it's kind of funny how the OCD cop has to slap himself 5 times when he gets mad. Like, he has to do everything 5 times in a row. So, Gaetano's fucking insane. Like, he was singing opera music. Well, no, he was listening to opera music inside of his head while walking down the street, and he trips and falls on the snow. And then he's like at this diner, and this Raidel's being rude to him, so he just kind of kills them because of the bad customer service. So let this be a lesson to you, fellow retail workers. The customer is not always right. Something I've noticed about this season is there was a lot of villains compared to the other seasons. Like, this one has 4 main villains, being Loy, Orietta, Gaetano, and Josto. Josto? Not really sure about that one. And at the end of the episode, we see the tragic death of Dr. Senator. And that kind of sucked because he was one of my favorite characters this season. I liked his kind of smooth, calm, sophisticated attitude, and it was just kind of sad to see him go. But that gives Loy a reason to be vengeful. So Loy's gonna try to get back at Gaetano and his family. So I like how episode 6 opens with a Dixieland remix of the Fargo theme. And like I said last time, I like how Fargo theme keeps changing depending on the mood. Like it makes sense for them to do a Dixieland remix because it's the 1950s and they're in Kansas City. But I gotta say, I do not like Gaetono as a character. He's way too cheesy and over the top. But Gaetono gets shot by the criminal aunt and her cowgirlfriend in episode 6, I believe, and they wrap him in a carpet, which is, I think, is a reference to Bolton Fink. Um, Now I thought he was dead for a second, but that isn't the case. Um, I guess getting shot in the head, back of the head, and Fargo isn't enough to kill someone. And you would think it is. Like, you don't see that many people surviving a shot to the back of the head. But, like I said, this is Fargo. It's kind of a fantasy series, sometimes, when it wants to be. Um, so like I said earlier in the episode, Orietta's been busted because of Ethel's letter to Orietta's boss. And, well, it's an anonymous letter. And I like the scene where she's like, "May I see the letter for myself?" And he's like, "No." That was kind of funny. Um, but that leaves Ethelreda the prime suspect of who wrote the letter because she works in Orietta's house. She's a house cleaner. So I think the first person Orietta would go to is Ethelreda. Like, she didn't really think this one through. Um, because who else would she have to suspect? Who else has been in Orietta's house alone to see that closet? So the shots while the rabbi is walking this black kid through the snow in episode 6 reminds me a lot of when one of the Jewelmans from season 2 killed Simone. It was just kind of the same cinematography and scenery, and I don't know, it reminded me a lot of it. So I thought that he was gonna kill the black child, but fortunately he doesn't. The rabbi's supposed to, but he doesn't, and they kind of go on the run together instead. Will we see them again? I don't know. I love how episode 7 opens with Orietta murdering that whole boss, and I think it's kind of funny how he was killed by a poisonous cookie. Like, imagine how pathetic and embarrassing that would be to choke on a cookie and, I mean, to get poisoned by a cookie and die. You die from a cookie. Like, that would be embarrassing. Imagine that being written on your tombstone. Rest in peace. He died by a cookie. I think the reason she killed him was a mix between the sexist comments in the last episode and the fact that he has the letter. And he's the only one who knows about the letter. But I loved after she killed him how hard it was for her to fake that scream. Like, she had to do a couple takes of it before she screamed. It just kind of shows what a psychopath she is. In this episode, we see a bloody head in a snowy street while two cops look on, which is a reference to the Fargo movie from '94 when we first see molds. So I kind of like how this show references the original movie a bit, because each season has done that in their own interesting way. Like season 1 did it with the money buried in the sand. Season 2 did it with him watching TV in a log cabin. And season 3 did, but he was like the parking lot king. So also we see this cool scene where Lloyd Cannon's wife threatens the man in the hole in the face with a gun, which is a cool scene. There's also a man hiding in a coffin. I don't know if we know who that is. I might have missed that, but maybe that's a mystery as to who that is. Something I have to say is that Fargo has some really good female characters because the movie had Margie, season 1 had Molly, season 2 had Peggy, and season 3 had both Gloria and Nikki, and now season 4 is Orietta and Ethel. So, the season of Fargo might not be that good, but at least they're keeping that consistent. Um, so Josto knows the rabbi took the boy and fled, but he tells Loy that he's dead and manipulates Loy into not killing his son, but to kill Gaetono instead. But Loy Cannon doesn't kill Gaetono either. So something I've liked is that Josto kind of started out in incompetent and inept, but he's slowly becoming more and more clever, which is kind of puts him as a real chess player on that map. So I kind of felt bad when Loy found out that somebody stole his credit card idea, because, man, he's been having a really bad week. First he loses Dr. Senator, believes he lost Satchel, his son, and now somebody stole his credit card idea. I think he's gonna snap soon. He's gonna have some mental breakdown soon. Um, I like that bluegrass song that kind of plays as these other people are walking down the street. That was a cool song. I'm surprised that Lloyd let the outlaws go like that after they killed some of his men and robbed him. That doesn't really seem consistent with Lloyd's character, but maybe it's because he didn't want to become the monster that they think he is. I like Lloyd's line, American criminals trick you into robbing yourself, which is pretty true. I mean, I don't know much about American criminals, but it's a good line. So Lloyd orders the other man to kill Calamita, who's the man with a hole in his face. So I guess that guy's life is in jeopardy. Will he survive? Will he not? I don't know. So I have some observations, some random observations about this episode. Full stop, the music in the season is fantastic. I'm loving the music, both like songs that already existed and Jeff Russo's original score. Both of them on point, as always. I also like the split screens in the cinematography. Like, the split screens is amazing. Kind of how they use them to transition into other scenes. Kind of reminds me of the TV show 24, with Kiefer Sutherland. They used split screens. This season's plot is moving so fucking slowly, guys. It's moving at a snail's pace. And it shouldn't be like that so far because we're over halfway through the series. Like, it shouldn't be still this slow. Unless the ending is fantastic, I don't think it's worth it. Especially if they're airing these every week. Like, I don't really find myself enjoying the season that much. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not like Game of Thrones or Doctor Who now. It's more like just completely mediocre. Like Giovanni Versace, or maybe, season 2 of True Detective. Like, it's like that. It's just mediocre. It's weird for me to see Timothy Olyphant in both this and The Mandalorian at the same time. Like, this guy has been busy lately, and I always get that weird feeling when I see people in the same shows at the same time. Like when I was watching Raised by Wolves and Vikings at the same time, and Travis Fimmel was in both of them, it was just kind of strange. I've noticed that there's been way too many commercial breaks in this episodes. Now, the breaks themselves are very short, but, like, there's way too many of them. I'd rather have longer commercial breaks, but less of them. Because every 5 minutes there's a commercial break. It doesn't let me get involved in the scenes at all. It's just, like, it doesn't let me suspend my disbelief when every 5 seconds there's a new commercial break. And this has been a problem with FX, but I feel like it's even worse now. Something else I noticed is that there's this loud, strange wind sound in episode 5. Like, it cuts out as soon as the character starts speaking, but it starts again as soon as they finish speaking. It'll be like, character says line, and I think that's a technical mistake. That definitely has to be, like, unintentional technical mistake. And I don't know if it's because they rushed editing because of COVID, or they were just being lazy and they thought nobody would notice, but, like, it just looks unprofessional. And you'd think they would be professional because this is a primetime, popular drama series on FX, like a really popular cable network. You'd think this show would be professional enough, and it just makes it look like a film product, like a film school thing. Like, I don't know. Did anybody else notice this? Is it just me and my dad? Because it sounded terrible in episode 5. Like, I thought FX would be better than this. Or maybe it's a problem with FX's transmission. I don't know. But it didn't sound professional. That's all I gotta say about that. However, the cinematography and the acting this season have both been amazing, so that kind of makes up for the lackluster plot and bad sound editing, I guess. I'm gonna give episodes 5 and 6 a C+, but in episode 7 a B-, because I think it's starting to get better. Just very, very slowly, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Sorry if this video was a bit rambly, and it's a bit late, but, I kind of had to reformat these entire notes, but, whatever. I hope everybody out there has a nice day, and stay safe, and let me know what your thoughts are on these episodes of Fargo, and what you think is going to happen the rest of the season. See you guys. Peace.